Hello students, welcome to presentation on transdermal drug delivery system. In this seminar, we are going to study what do you mean by transdermal drug delivery system, what are the mechanisms of drug absorption, what are the fundamentals of skin permeation, various factors affecting transdermal permeability of drug, what is the role of permeation enhancers in transdermal drug delivery system, types of transdermal drug delivery system, advantage, disadvantage, and evaluation parameters. First, we'll see definition. Transdermal drug delivery systems are defined as self-contained discrete dosage form which, when applied to the intact skin, deliver the drug through the skin at controlled rate to the systemic circulation. Or also it can be defined as transdermal drug delivery system or system that utilizes skin as a site of continuous drug administration into the systemic circulation. Generally, we know that topical route of administration is used for most of the time local action, but by this transdermal drug delivery system or transdermal patches, we are targeting to get the systemic effect of drug or systemic absorption of drug. So before studying, we must know the basic structure of skin. So as we know that the outermost layer of skin is epidermis, and outermost layer of epidermis is stratum corneum, which is made up of dead cells, then dermis and subcutaneous tissue. So main barrier for the absorption of drug is stratum corneum because it is very compact and it is made up of dead cells. So you can see here, when transdermal patch is applied, it will penetrate through the epidermis to dermis and to the blood capillaries, and through these blood capillaries drug will be absorbed and carried to the systemic circulation. Then various pathways of drug permeation through the skin. So basically there are three pathways. First one, transfollicular route, or it is also called as transappendageal route of permeation of drug through skin. So transfollicular route of permeation means what? The permeation of drug through the follicles like hair follicles and the sweat ducts, that is called as transfollicular transport. Then second is a transcellular transport or transcellular, or it is also called as intracellular transport. So in this approach or in this mechanism, the drug permeate through the cells, means drug will enter into the cell and then it will again to the next cell and it will go to the area where the blood capillaries are present. Then third, it is intercellular route, or it is also called as paracellular route of drug transport. So paracellular means what? Here the drug diffuses through the continuous lipid matrix present in between the cells. Means here drug is bypassing the cells, means it is passing in between the gaps between the cells. That's why it is also called as paracellular route of drug permeation through the skin. Then important parameters we must remember, which will determine the rate of penetration through the skin, or that is also called as transport through the skin. So transport is nothing but it is also called as flux, which is generally measured in milligram per centimeter square per second, which is equal to P. P stands for permeability coefficient, into A stands for surface area of the patch, into CD. C stands for concentration, D stands for concentration of donor compartment, CR stands for concentration of receptor compartment. And permeability coefficient can be determined by D into K. D is diffusivity, it is an intrinsic property of drug, into K, that is partition coefficient, divided by H. H means thickness of the membrane. So here membrane is nothing but skin. Then various factors affecting transdermal drug delivery. So there are so many factors which affect. They are categorized into biological factors and physicochemical factors. So first biological factor is skin condition. Sometimes the skin may be damaged due to certain conditions or certain rashes, or maybe due to the exposure to various chemicals. So thus damaged skin is more permeable to drug as compared to the normal skin, because stratum corneum is damaged. Next factor is skin age. Generally the young skin is more permeable to drug as compared to the old skin. Then blood supply. As we know that if the blood supply is more, means vascularity is more at the application site, then definitely the skin condition will be maintained fastly, so the absorption of drug will be faster. Regional skin site. We know that the thickness of stratum corneum at the various sides of our body, they are different. Like thickness at the back of neck will be different, back of hand will be different, palm, at the palm thickness of stratum corneum will be different. So where the region where the thickness of stratum corneum is minimum, in from that region the drug permeation will be faster. Then physicochemical parameters, like skin hydration. If skin is well hydrated or containing more water concentration, then definitely the permeation rate will be higher. Temperature, again temperature will increase the permeation rate. And pH, pH also it determines the or what we can say, it has a relationship between the pKa. So dissociation, so undissociated drug will definitely diffuse quicker, because our skin is also nothing but a lipoidal membrane. Then diffusion coefficient, it is an intrinsic property of a drug. If diffusion coefficient of drug is high, then definitely permeability or penetration rate will be higher. Drug concentration, if drug concentration of drug is high, definitely the concentration gradient will be maintained and permeation will be faster. Then partition coefficient, again partition coefficient of drug must be optimum or sufficiently high. If partition coefficient high, means drug is sufficiently lipophilic so that it will permeate, but partition coefficient should not be too high. If partition coefficient is too high, then drug is very high or highly lipophilic in nature. So what happens in such conditions, drug will remain or it will retain into the skin itself, it will not go into the blood circulation. So that's why partition coefficient should not be too high, it should be optimum. And again drug must have sufficient water solubility also. If drug partition coefficient is too less, means drug is having insufficient lipid solubility, so it will not penetrate into the skin. Next parameter or factor is molecular size and shape. Definitely the molecular size of drug matters the permeation. If molecular size is less, definitely permeation will be faster. The next it is permeation enhancer. These are the extra additives into the transdermal patches. So if permeation is the main problem, then generally we are adding the permeation enhancer. So there are different mechanisms of increasing the permeation through the skin. So there are various compounds which promote the skin permeability by altering the skin as a barrier to the flux of the desired penetrant. So the penetration enhancers used may be various solvents like water. As just now we have discussed, if skin is well hydrated, then definitely the permeation rate will be higher. Ethanol also increases the permeability rate, and the mechanism is ethanol generally denatures, or it causes the denaturation of skin proteins. So definitely there will be more opening in the skin and drug will permeate very easily. Then surfactant again, they cause the increase in the permeability enhancer. So generally they causes the damage, slight damage to the stratum corneum. So all types of surfactants can be used as a permeation enhancer, all ionic type, non-ionic surfactant, all types of surfactants. Then miscellaneous chemicals. So as per the type of chemical, their mechanism of enhancing the permeation are different. Various chemicals like DMSO, Pyrrolidones, oleic acid, terpenes, they can be used as a penetration enhancers. Then common attributes for a drug to be a suitable candidate for transdermal drug delivery system. Again, due to the limitation of size of transdermal patch, the daily dose of drug must be less than 20 mg. The molecular weight of drug, again, it should be less than 5 daltons, means molecular size should be small. Skin permeability, drug must have high skin permeability. Lipid solubility, means drug must be sufficiently lipid soluble. That partition coefficient should be in between 1 to 4. Toxicological profile, the drug must be non-irritating and non-sensitizing to the skin, means it should not cause any hypersensitivity reactions to the skin. Then advantages of transdermal drug delivery system. So main advantage of transdermal drug delivery system is it reduces the first pass effect metabolism, and many drugs which are incompatible by gastrointestinal route, that drug can be given by transdermal patches. Transdermal patches can sustain or control the drug release, and transdermal patches have one advantage over parenteral, that is self administration is permeable or possible. Then it is non-invasive, no need of needles or injections, improves patient compliance, reduces the side effects, allows the removal of drug at source, means in some cases, suppose any hypersensitivity or allergic reaction persists, in such cases the drug, or what we can say, the transdermal patch can be removed very easily. So termination of action is possible in transdermal patches. Then limitations, so poor diffusion of large molecules, so large molecule drug cannot be given by in transdermal patches. There may be chances of skin irritation, and high dose drugs cannot be given by transdermal patches. Now we'll see the basic components which are required in transdermal drug delivery system for the construction of transdermal drug delivery system. So all the components we are using, they must be chemically and physically compatible with each other. First, again, drug is required being a dosage form. Then membrane. So this is nothing but a polymeric membrane which moderates or regulates the rate of drug release from the system. So some rate controlling membranes, generally they are prepared by the polyethylene sheets, ethylene vinyl acetate copolymers, and cellulose acetates. Adhesive layer, next component is adhesive layer. So this is very much required to maintain the contact with patient skin throughout the period of application of patch to the skin. So the skin patch must remain adhered to the skin for the period of at least 12 hours or maybe more than that, as per the requirement. As well as sometimes this adhesive layer may be used for incorporation of drug and excipient in drug in adhesive transdermal drug delivery system. This one we'll see in later part. But see, this adhesive is nothing but a polymer, and this polymer may be sometimes used for the dispersion of drug, or same polymer also act as a adhesive also. So examples of adhesive: acrylic copolymers, polyisobutylene, and polysiloxane. So this is a general common structure of transdermal patch, where this is a backing membrane, this is a drug reservoir, this is a membrane, rate controlling membrane, and this is skin. Then release liners. So generally the function of release liner is to protect the skin contacting adhesive during the storage period. See, we are well aware about these liners. So at the time of application, these liners must be removed and then patch should be applied. So these liners are generally made up of polyesters, polystyrene based films. The next component is backing material. So backing material provides protection from external factors during the application period. So it contains formulation throughout the shelf life and during the wear period of the transdermal patch. They have laminate structure. They must be compatible with the formulation, that is they should not absorb the active ingredient or any of the excipients. They are occlusive and completely water impermeable in nature. Means generally the leaching, or what we can say, leakage of drug should not occur from the backside of the patch. Backside of patch means, see, the drug should release from the this side of patch only. So this is backside of patch, so from here drug should not leak. So that's why this backing membrane should be impermeable to water. So the materials used for preparation of backing material is polyurethane films, ethyl vinyl acetate, and polyolefins. Now, design of transdermal drug delivery system. See, there are two basic designs of patch system that dictate drug release characteristic and patch behavior. That is matrix system. It is also called as a monolithic system, and reservoir system, or it is also called as membrane system. So there are various technologies of designing patches based on these two principles, or sometimes combination of these two. But out of that, there are four basic approaches for developing transdermal drug delivery system. That is polymer membrane partition control drug delivery, transdermal drug delivery system. It is also called as it is reservoir drug delivery system. Then polymer matrix diffusion control transdermal drug delivery system. It is a type of a matrix system. The drug reservoir gradient control transdermal drug delivery system means, in this approach it contains more than two layers of drug in polymer, so gradually the drug will release. Fourth type is micro reservoir dissolution control. It is a combination of matrix system and reservoir system. So first type, it is polymer membrane partition control drug transdermal drug delivery system. So in this type of system, the drug reservoir is sandwiched in between the drug impermeable backing laminate and the rate controlling polymeric membrane. So here we can see this is a drug reservoir. So drug is dissolved in suitable solvent. This is reservoir, and this is a membrane, release control membrane. So the release rate of drug from this patch is dependent on the type or nature of this membrane. If membrane is more permeable, the rate of release will be faster. If more is less, or membrane is less permeable, then release rate will be slower. So in this second diagram we can see a basic design. This blue color indicates the packing membrane, this green color indicates the drug, this violet color indicates the membrane, that is release controlling membrane, and this skin color indicates the adhesive layer, and this is liner, which is to be removed before application. Then next type of transdermal patch is polymer matrix diffusion controlled transdermal drug delivery system. So in this system, the drug reservoir is formed by the homogeneous dispersion of drug solids in a hydrophilic or hydrolipophilic polymer matrix, and then the medicated polymer form is molded into medicated disc with defined surface area and thickness. So this is matrix system. So here the drug molecules are dispersed into the polymer matrix, and this is backing layer, or sometimes the design may be, as per the requirement we can add some additive components like occlusive base plate. This is the adhesive film which is all around the patch. Then drug impermeable, this is plastic membrane, and absorbent pad. This is green color indicates the absorbent pad. So simplest design, this is blue color is again backing membrane, adhesive, drug, and this is liner which is to be removed before the application. And the mechanism of drug release from this system is by diffusion. So matrix system and drug will diffuse. So diffusion rate of drug depends on the viscosity of this polymer which form the matrix. Next system is drug reservoir gradient control transdermal drug delivery system. So polymer matrix drug dispersion type transdermal drug delivery system can be modified to have the drug loading level varied in an incremental manner. Means, see, you can see here the four layers, so R1, R2, R3 and R4, suppose, or Rn. So forming a gradient of drug reservoir along the diffusional path across the multilaminate adhesive layers. Means, you can see here black color, this is backing membrane. To this is R1 is the first layer, R2 second layer, R3 third and fourth layer. So the concentration of drug is varied. So this first layer R1 contains the highest concentration of drug, then R2 somewhat less concentration, R3 having less concentration than R2, and R4 having less concentration than R3. So what happens actually, this R4 is directly in contact with the skin. So drug which is present in this R4 layer, it will diffuse into the skin, and sometimes if suppose the equilibrium is achieved, means the concentration in this R4 layer and skin, suppose it is same, then what will happen, the diffusion will stop. So to maintain the sink condition, what happens, as R3 have more concentration than R4, so drug from this R3 layer will diffuse into R4, and again R4 having more concentration than skin, so again permeation will continue. Similarly, the drug will diffuse from R2 to R3, again R1 to R2, again same way, R1 to R2, R2 to R3, R3, R3 to R4, and again to the skin. So this is the mechanism of drug reservoir gradient control system. So you can see here, so this gradient control system may be of again two types. So see here, the drug is dispersed in a matrix, again here drug dispersed in a matrix second layer, or sometimes these two matrix R1 and R2, they may be separated by a membrane, rate controlling membrane. See in this diagram you can see, this is the drug in a matrix, this is violet color indicates the membrane, rate controlling membrane, again this is second layer. Fourth type of transdermal patch, it is micro reservoir dissolution control transdermal drug delivery system. So it is combination or a hybrid of reservoir and matrix dispersion type drug delivery system, which contain drug reservoir formed by first suspending the drug solid in an aqueous solution of water miscible drug solubilizer, for example polyethylene glycol, then homogeneously dispersing this the drug suspension with controlled aqueous solubility in a lipophilic polymer. Means what, first of all we are preparing a dispersion or solution of drug in a water. So these are the water droplets in which the drug is solubilized, and these water loaded drug or drug solution in water, this is dispersed in a polymer matrix which is lipophilic in nature. Means it is one of the type of cream, emulsion such as cream. So these water droplets act as a micro reservoirs, and this is continuous phase is nothing but a polymer matrix, lipophilic polymer matrix. So this is a combination of reservoir system as well as matrix system. So this system is called as micro reservoir type system. Then quality control testing or evaluation of transdermal drug delivery system. So first evaluation parameter is drug content. So drug content can be measured by taking a specific or by cutting a specific area of a patch, then dissolving in a suitable solvent and analyzing it for the drug content. The next parameter is content uniformity. So to determine the content uniformity, means whether the drug is uniformly spread throughout the area of patch or not. For that what we are doing, we are taking the samples or we are taking the cuts from the patch from the different locations, then we are analyzing it for the drug content. If the drug content are same, then we can say that there is a uniform distribution or content uniformity is there in the transdermal patch. Then most important evaluation parameter is in vitro drug release, or sometimes ex vivo studies also can be done. So in vitro drug release study, in this what we are doing, we are checking the in vitro release by diffusion cells. So in next slide we'll discuss this in vitro and ex vivo in more detail. Next parameter is residual solvent. If organic solvents we are using for the casting of the backing layer or any other layer, then whether how much amount of that organic solvent is retained, that should be residual solvent should be determined. The residual monomers should be determined. Then release liner peel and adhesion, means how easily the liner can be peeled off, that should be also determined. Then adhesive strength of the patch or adhesive layer, that also is important, how much adhesive it is. That also, there are so many tests like rolling ball test, tack test are there for this adhesion test. The next it is mechanical properties, like one of the tests for checking mechanical properties, folding endurance, means transdermal patch is folded from a one location, again it is straightened, again it is fold, again it is straightened. So after how many foldings, how many times folding it breaks, that we have to determine. Suppose after folding for 200 times, if it breaks, then that folding endurance will be 200. So this is done for the checking mechanical strength of the patch. The next parameter is moisture absorption and moisture loss. And microbiology, means any, is there any microbial load into the patch, that we have to determine by this microbiology study. See in this diagram we can see this is the diagram of Franz diffusion cell. So by using this apparatus we are determining the release rate or diffusion rate of the drug from the patch. So this is a donor compartment. This is donor compartment generally used when we are checking the diffusion from any ointment or creams. So and this is a membrane. So this membrane may be skin of any animal or human, or it may be synthetic membrane like membrane filters. So if we are using this as a membrane filter, so upon this membrane, here we are keeping this membrane filter, and upon this we are keeping our transdermal patch. This yellow color indicates the solvent. Okay, and this capacity of this diffusion cell is 20 ml. Holding capacity of this is 20 ml. So this diffusion liquid may be a buffer or maybe water as per the requirement. So this is a jacketed buffer, jacketed diffusion cell. So here is a entry point for a heated water, and this is exit for heated water. And this only yellow color, it indicates the diffusion liquid, and this is a sampling port through which we can collect the samples. So what do you mean by now in vitro diffusion study and ex vivo diffusion study? When we are using here membrane filter for the diffusion study, then it is in vitro diffusion study. And if we are using the skin of rat or maybe rabbit, so that time this membrane is a skin, suppose, and through skin we are checking the diffusion rate, then it is that diffusion study is called a ex vivo diffusion study. And again, why this heating or jacket is required, heating jacket is required, because again to check the diffusion study the temperature should be maintained as that of body temperature, so that's why this heating jacket is there. Then therapies or marketed products of the transdermal patches. So for various therapies like motion sickness, anti-anginal drug like nitroglycerin, so on, or smoking cessation nicotine patches, they are available in the market in the form of transdermal patches. So these are the references.